Real hunters of the legendary Bigfoot. My name is Bill. Welcome to the Night Terrors Weekend Show, and we're starting right now. Welcome to Eldergrown, and oh no, it's Taco. Don't forget to catch the original shows, which are now being uploaded to Rumble. All the classic shows in their original order at noon, Monday through Friday. Noon Eastern, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, we have a Discord. You will find the link in the description below. This is our show schedule. I think it's there. Yeah, it's there. Every week on YouTube and Twitch, Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And every week is Wednesday movie night, where we show a double feature, only on Twitch. Coming up this Wednesday, El Cid, a juggernaut of the early 1960s epic adventures, starring Charlton Heston and Sophia Loren. And a film with an insanely high rating of 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb. More on this later. Taco says, Taco has a suggestion. Gotchaman says, Wednesday night, El Cid, find a comfortable chair. It is an epic. Thank you, Gotchaman, for the subscription. Much appreciated, sir. Green tea has arrived. Thank you for the suggestion, Taco. Shane Riley says hi. And Dar Daddy is waving to Bill. Welcome, Dar Daddy. Evidently, Dar Daddy's from Canada. Believe me, if we invade, I'm not going to be on the front lines. Green Tea asks a question I'd like to know of Eldergrown. How do you find this screen before I go live? Eldergrown says there's a link on the homepage to the chat. If you click there, you can chat even though the show isn't live. Oh, so in other words, the channel page, I guess. The Night Terrors channel page on Twitch. Dardede says, please come to Canada. Please invade Canada. Eldergrown with the super chat. Elder says, it's time for Bill's show. Thank you, Elder. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you, sir. The 51st state sounds good to me, says Dardaddy. Okay, well, if it's all copacetic, let's do it. Maybe we can get some of your fine health care down here. Let's get to it. Ooh, another topic from Green Tea. Yes, tonight is open topic night. Right after we cover the Bigfoot Hunter matter. Got it, Green Tea. Thank you. Whoops. Grab the wrong thing there. Grab the right thing. There we go. Got to save Taco and Green Tea. Suggestions. Synchro 505 is here. Hello, Michael. So good to have you. Michael does the incidental music for the show. Check out his bona fides in the description below. Here, okay, now before we go to this, the first result when you search for professional Bigfoot hunters on the internet, at least on Google, is the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. There's not much after that for professional organizations. Taco with another suggestion. Thank you, Taco. Got it. And this is what that organization looks like at their webpage. Kind of looks like it was designed by a teenager or someone with a rudimentary understanding of HTML. Not saying that I have a higher understanding than this gentleman. Did a really nice job of doing the side-by-side display. Anyway, it says here it was founded in 1995. Rhinoceros Rex says, not sure how dark you want to go with suggestions. But if you're up for a rough story, always, we'll do that we'll do that a little later. The movie poster's still up. Thank you, Elder. Got that Rhino Rex suggestion. Thank you, Rhino Rex. Ooh, new name. Nice, Rhino Rex. I like it. I like it a lot. Here they have a link to reports collected from all over the country, divided by region, by state, divided by state. They have sound recordings. We're going to check that out. And the most interesting thing I found on their homepage, Rhino Rex says, thanks, I finally changed it. Congratulations, Drewfologist. Real Bigfoot fan. Isn't that right? Oh, no, Dogman fan. Sorry, Drew. Real Dogman fan. Welcome, Drew. And congratulations for being a Tier 1 subscriber. What I thought the most interesting on this page was the... Where is it? Well, here we go. We're on the right-hand side here. Taco might change her name if she gets a chance. Interesting. You're to see the new moniker. Ufologist says Bigfoot, Dogman, Yeti, they're all the same. With a wink. Don't you just know it? Thank you, Drew. Here on the right-hand side, it says 2025 Bigfoot expeditions open to non-members. Click here for the latest updates on our Facebook group. Let's check it out. Here's the Facebook group. The BFRO. About. This is the official Facebook group for the BFRO. I give the website address here. About. The mission of the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization is multifaceted, but the organization essentially seeks to resolve the mystery surrounding the Bigfoot phenomenon, to drive conclusive documentation of the species' existence. This goal is pursued through the proactive collection of empirical data and physical evidence from the field, and by means of activities designed to promote an awareness and understanding of the nature and origin of the evidence. Founded in 1995 in Akron, Ohio, the BFRO is now the oldest and largest organization of its kind, a virtual community of scientists, journalists, and specialists from diverse backgrounds. Gotcha Man with a suggestion. Thank you, Gotcha Man. Open that on Instagram while we're reading here. Directed by California native Matthew Moneymaker, and that's his real name. The researchers who compose the BFRO are engaged in projects including field and lab investigations designed to address various aspects of the Bigfoot phenomenon. As a result of the education and experience of its members and the quality of their efforts, not beating their chest there, are they? The BFRO is widely considered as the most credible and respected investigative network involved in the study of this subject. When compelling evidence is collected by or submitted to the BFRO, it is presented to a scientific and forensic specialist for evaluation. It says specialists here. The BFRO organizes and reports observations and directs expeditions to places where the observations have occurred. Through this process, the organization steadily improves the size and scope of its collective expertise about this species. Those in the organization anticipate this emphasis on cooperation and professionalism is not only realistic, but it furthers its long-term goal, determining how these rare and elusive animals can and should be protected and studied after their existence is generally acknowledged by governmental agencies and the scientific community. Groovy. That is groovy. Let's hear those recordings. I want to hear a recording. Ufologist says, I cannot wait to shoot Bigfoot. Taco says, groovy, man. Groovy, man. Oh, we have, as well as recordings, here at the sound recordings link is also photos. Sounds often mistaken for Sasquatch, and eyewitness sketches. Welcome to Ultravos 99. Is this Unsolved Mysteries? Yes, it's about 6 of them, so stay tuned. Still frames of the Patterson footage, and nothing else. Oh wait, possible Sasquatch photos. Silver Star Mountain. Let's take a look at that real quick. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look, 2 of them. You can see them emerging from behind the snow-covered rise. Oh, wow. And there's the close-ups. It looks like it, doesn't it? Wow. Silver Star Mountain, state of Washington. Well, we got to see bigger versions of this. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. Wow. It sure has that hulking appearance, doesn't it? Then you have the sound recordings. You have the sounds mistaken for Sasquatch, the coyotes, basically. 2 coyote recordings. Eyewitness sketches. Butterfly Away says hello to everyone. Welcome, BA. Sketches from Ohio. We'll get to the sounds. The top one observed just north of New Philadelphia, Ohio. Spring 1991. Sighting occurred in daylight. The witness stood 40 feet for a minute before he ran away. A few years later, the witness drew this sketch at a restaurant on a paper napkin during his one and only interview about the incident. Next, 1994, observed within the boundaries of the Berlin Lake State Wildlife Area near Alliance, Ohio, in July. 2:30 in the morning. The witness said he stood approximately 15 feet from the hairy man and illuminated it with his flashlight for half a minute. When first hit, it raised its left arm slowly and covered its eyes with its forearm. After a few seconds, it slowly lets its arm down to its side. Then it tightened and flexed its chest and arms while squinting with a stern expression. The witness, Brian Jones, probably the most fearless Bigfoot investigator in Ohio, walked away shortly thereafter. This drawing was made by Jones over the course of a few days, a month or so after the incident. It's right there in the middle. Sharon, Ohio, 1984. That one looks friendly. Friendly Bigfoot. The witness said she stood about 25 feet from the creature. The sighting occurred in daylight. She had brought her children to a playground in a relatively unpopulated, hilly, wooded area, not far from home. It had to be scary for me. She was supervising them at play when the incident occurred. First, she heard some rustling in the woods at the edge of the playground. When she walked over to see what it was, now that's the brave number one, she observed the creature moving slowly through the trees and bushes toward the edge of the grassy field where she stood. It stopped at a point where it could view the children playing on a small merry-go-round. Think what they call it, a merry-go-round? What's the name for that thing? That self-propelled horizontal wheel. She believed the animal was attracted by the noise of the children. After observing it for a moment, she calmly gathered her kids up and drove away. This drawing is closely based on a drawing made by an artist at the direction of the witness. Wait a minute. It's like a third-hand drawing. This drawing is closely based on a drawing made by an artist at the direction of the witness. Yeah, that looks like one happy Bigfoot. I got to see a close-up of that. Hi, your kids are cute. Let's get to those sounds. Sasquatch sound recordings, there's 3 of them. 94, 2004, and many more. There's many more than 3. From various states, California, Florida, Pennsylvania, Washington, Ohio, Kentucky, Oklahoma. Kentucky's not there. I misread the K. Terry Elmer says, if you read the Hebrew text... Oh, I thought it was a Bigfoot related. No, here we go. If you read the Hebrew text, Sefer HaYashar, the Book of Complete Records, also known as the Book of the Righteous, it tells how the Sasquatch people came to be during the Tower of Tongues event. Wow. The Sasquatch people. Cool. Welcome, Terry. Rhino Rex says that drawing looks like me when I get out of the shower. Zerithian, welcome. Zerithian says the accounts of Bigfoot creatures picking up trees or tree trunks and slamming them into the ground, sometimes upside down. Scary and fascinating. Indeed. Thank you, Zerithian. A death spinner, says Zeldergrown. A carousel, which may be the Australian term. I've never heard it called a carousel here. A death spinner. Let's ask a ChatGPT. What is the name of that thing in the playground upon which children play that spins around, self-propelled by the children? Merry-go-round? I never heard it called a merry-go-round. It says here it's called a roundabout, though. A roundabout is what we call a traffic pattern. Yeah. Welcome, Raiders. First time chat from Cap Niprikoff. Welcome, sir, or ma'am. Welcome, friends. Mr. Mackey, 2099. Welcome, sir. Taoist viewers here. After a long pause, welcome back, Tao. Mr. Mackey is here. Did I say that already? The Mackies deserve two welcomes. I have Mackie ancestors. I think. They're ancestors. Either ancestors or relatives. Gotta be ancestors, right? A roundabout. I think I would accept roundabout. Oh, Mackie used to be Manaray. Welcome back, Manaray. Or Mackie. Or Mackie. Who rated us? Well, let me know so I can put them on the raid list, the return raid list. Oh, Captain Ripoff himself. Welcome, Captain Ripoff. What did I say? Kapnikoff. It's Captain Ripoff. Thank you, Captain Ripoff. Yeah, I'm going to write that down. I'll take a picture of the page, too. You'll see a flash. Captain with 2 P's. I like it. Eldergrown says, "Arr, the captain be raiding." Cornhusker like the earlier pronunciation better. Cornhusker says, "Arr." Okay, we got to listen to some Bigfoot here. Let's do this. What's the more? They say many more recordings. Let's open that first. See what the most recent one is. It looks like there is 7 on here, 8, 9, 10, 12, lucky 13, bipedal walking is 14, growls and whistling 15. So 15 plus the 18 recordings. Okay, 2004, at least this one is dated. That's the most recent one. A 2004 moaning howl from Mississippi. Shorter segment, full recording. Let's do the short one. By Bigfoot X Zerthian? Yes, by Bigfoot. Eldergrown says, I guess there's no Wisconsin Bigfoots. No video with supported format and MME type found. It's an MP3. Save as. Save page as. We'll put it in the show folder, which is right at the top, luckily, under the R's. Real Hunters of the Legendary Bigfoot. Save it there. Now we got to find that show folder. I think it's here. One Sean Bond has arrived. Welcome, One Sean Bond, sir. So glad to have you and the family. Where did it go? Must be over the other place. There it is. We'll grab that MP3. And restore Chatology. All right. Now this is interesting. Why do they have two? This is a stereo channel. I think top is right and bottom is left, I think. In Audacity. Application. Yeah, Elder Grown says 2 channels. Yeah. Why is there 2 channels? And like 2 obviously separate channels. Let's play them separately, see what's going on here first. Why would they do that? I mean, that screams not. Let's try left first. Yeah, that's short. That's less than a second. Okay, I gotta hear the long one now. No. Here's the full recording. Warning, the recording is soft. You are likely to turn up your volume quite a bit to hear it well. Well, I heard that okay, but it was just so fast. Open link a new tab. There it is. Save page as. Mississippi Long, of course. Back to the Future. Mississippi Long. There we go. Well, this still is a second in length. Even this, left channel and right channel, with this part right here, let me zoom in. With this part right here, what? Well, I guess there could be this sound on one channel and nothing on the other channel. But I don't know. I'm already suspicious. Let's, and it's just over 1 second long. I don't know why it's so quick, but let's give it a shot. Left channel first. Elder Growth says, turn up your volume is a typical instruction on jump scare videos. Two Feathers, welcome, ma'am. How you doing? Terry Ulmer says, look up Bigfoot Sings by Sasquatch, Ontario. Okay, let's give the left channel a try first. Yeah, that's... I hope the next one is better. That's... Not only is it suspicious, it's like disappointing as well. Okay. Whoops and a knocks here. Also... Wait, that was from Ohio. Did I open the right one? Yeah, I did, I think. Let's go for the whoops and knocks in any case. Download a clip. It's MP3, okay. Okay, play. Well, we could download. Let's download it. What the hell? Save page. And save. This is called Whoop. Back to the Future. Keep your fingers crossed on this one. Here we go. 16 seconds long. This looks like a true stereo pattern to me. Okay, so here, perhaps the first real recording. Does it say where this is taken from? Contains a string of sound clips from the Barry Moorhead explorations in the 70s. Featured on In Search Of. Okay, a string of clips from In Search Of, basically. The knocks, the knocking is interesting. The whooping sounds kind of avian identical to me. Zerthian says, my favorite Bigfoot will always be from Harry and the Hendersons, the film from 1987. Did you guys hear that, the whooping and the knocking? Taco says she didn't hear it. Did anyone hear the clip? Did people hear that clip out there? Two Feathers reminds us his name is Ron Moorhead, the expedition leader. No one heard it. Huh. Okay, it looks like we're not going to be able to do this today. I do not have my broadcast software set up to play this. And I don't think I can do it ad hoc, so my apologies. What it sounded like was there was a whooping that sounded exactly the same over and over again. As you can see from the pattern also looks identical over and over again. So I think that was a bird. But there was this weird sound of knocking in the distance, like someone bashing something against a tree. A real wood knocking sound, like loud but from far away, which I think is the most interesting in this clip. My apologies, people. I will set it up so we can hear MP3s as soon as possible. Save changes? No. What about that expedition? As I said, the most interesting thing on their website is they have an advertisement here at the BFRO, the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, for expeditions in 2025, which are open to non-members of the organization. Click here for our latest updates on the Facebook group, it says. Do I have other stuff there about... So there's the Facebook. Where's the volunteer stuff? Authentic phone cam video of a Bigfoot here at the Facebook page. Sounds like good advice, Taco. Thank you. One Sean Bond says a channel sub to my channel has some good Sasquatch content, as they are from Vancouver, British Columbia. The channel is called Land, Sea, Air Canada. No pressure or promotion intended. Antelope Freeway, 1/16th mile. Copyright infringement. That's from Fire Sign Theater, of course. Taco says I might check out that channel. I want to be on an expedition. It says click to the Facebook to see how to be on the expedition. Where's the expedition? Recent media. Expedition map. In fact, oh, here we go. Well, that's Pennsylvania. Attention, Pennsylvania. BFRO's 2025 Pennsylvania Bigfoot Expedition will happen on June 12th to 15th. This trip is still open to non-members. The leader's Chip Beam and his crew. That'd make a nice Night Terrors special. Here are all the expeditions. These are the expeditions accepting registrations. Florida, February 6th, coming up. Better hurry up if you want to get in on that one. Tennessee, April. Missouri, April. Same month for New Jersey. In May, Ohio and Oklahoma. In June, Minnesota, New Jersey, again. They're really active in New Jersey. Washington and Pennsylvania, and Connecticut, and Oregon, and California. In July, Washington, and that's it for July. In August, Colorado, and Washington again. West Virginia in September, along with Ohio, Iowa, and Arizona. So a couple of states there getting multiple investigations. Another one of them being Ohio. For details and registration, go to this page. Oh, I like that GIF. Patterson film clip. And here they are. You click on the state, and you get your registration. Gotcha Man suggests I could do a guest interview, ask questions, and let them plug their tour junket. That's a really good idea, Gotcha Man. Wow. I'm going to copy that. Thank you, Gotcha Man. I almost said your real name. Thank you, Gotcha Man. I don't know if I have permission to do that. Two Feathers asks, at Abnormal Investigations, what kind of abnormal stuff are you investigating? Okay, let's move on to... Why are we here in Ancient? Why is there underwater stuff here? Maybe if I go back, I'll find out what's going on. Back. I don't know why this is here. Can I refresh it? Refresh. I don't think that's what I need. There's another Facebook page. This one for a different organization. These are the Alabama Professional Bigfoot Hunters. Contact and basic info. Contact info. Well, that's cool. They give their location. Alabama Professional Bigfoot Hunters list of followers is unavailable. Their photos. Here's some of their merch. Salty Squatch. Believe in yourself even if no one else does. Signed, Sasquatch. Says the second t-shirt. Oh, Gotchaman says that was mine. Giant knife off the coast of Madagascar. Sorry, Gotcha. Oh, did I just get rid of that? Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. This is what contributed from a viewer and host of our upcoming spectacular this coming Wednesday only on Twitch. El Cid, Chuck Heston, Sophia Loren. Let me see if I can get that link back from Gotcha Man. Come on, chat. Where is that link? I lost the link. How did I lose the link? I'm not firing on all cylinders this evening. If you put that link back in, Gotcha Man, I will display it. There we go. Thank you, Gotcha Man. Underwater Discovery is a giant knife sculpture found by divers in tropical waters. Its purpose and origin are still a mystery, sparking theories ranging from artistic installations to remnants of a submerged monument. Atlas with a knife, no, Poseidon with a knife in his hand. Let's take a close-up look at that. Can we? I'm not able to click on the picture here. Can I magnify the whole page? I cannot. I can only make it small. Oh, here we'll go some more. That's a knife, all right. There's some kind of weird stud on the end, like insert here. They don't say what it's made out of. How many people are holding it? It's hard to distinguish between the knife and the diver behind it here. Can't even see hands holding it. Oh, I see one on top. I guess that's the other one on the bottom. I think it's one guy holding it. Maybe. These guys, other guys are just posing for the picture, I think. No, wait, there's another hand. That's the hand of this guy. So it takes two guys to hold it. So maybe metal? There's that stud on the end. Taco says it's probably an art installation. We have great ones in it's either Cottesloe or Cotslow, called Sculptures by the Sea. Elder says it might be aluminum, which does not rust. Gotchman says it resembles a modern chef's knife rather than something ancient. It does kind of resemble something modern, doesn't it? Two Feathers says there's a production called Sasquatch Sierra Sounds by Ron Moorhead. I hope it was better than the two he had, the two examples I heard. And no one else did. Cool. Thank you. Gotcha. Okay, we were in Alabama. Is there a way to take a look at their headquarters? Address, it says. Address, contact info, local business. Let's see if we can, if they're listed like in the white pages or something, Control-C, or the internet. Search on, please. There's on Facebook. Let's do a quotes around here so the full term is required to be found. There's their Facebook. And that's it. Repeat with omitted results included. Do they have a YouTube channel? Gordon Ramsay would love that, says Taco. By the way, Taco, Wanshan Ban says hello. Love and peace. Love and peace, friend. Good to see you from Wanshan Ban to Taco. Wanshan Ban being over on YouTube. Okay, we're looking for that. And we're looking for a channel name. Alabama Bigfoot Encounters. Let's filter for channel names. There's Alabama Bigfoot Society. Research Group. I'm not seeing it here at this time. This stuff looks interesting, though. Alabama, Georgia, and Georgia here, it says. Well, they have a map here. It says Jasper, Alabama, United States. It gives a zip code. Let's see what Google Earth will yield. In fact, it's where, It looks like they're just outside of Jasper on Route 22, so we should be able to find it. We're going to have two maps with which to commiserate, or two maps to compare we're going to have. There we go. It's in Walker County, Alabama. I want to see this business. It's listed as a Facebook business. Okay. Now, if I knew how to do this better. Oh, there's 22. Immediately, it looks like what we're looking at. Immediately. See right here, this double dog leg right here. Looks exactly like that. It's a little bit bigger, but they're put right about here, about 2/5 of the way, and a little bit in off the road. Let's close in a little bit more. That would be right about here, on the same, about the same distance in as the church, but more towards this side of 22, more towards this end of 20, that stretch of 22. So right about here, let's, by the way, it's the Macedonia Church of Christ. So right about, ooh, there's another dot. What is that? Solid Rock Mobile RV Services. Is that quite where it was? I said right about here, though. I estimated right here. Whoops. Don't do that. My estimate is it's this place right here. Or, no, that's the volunteer fire department. Maybe it's the volunteer fire department. No, that's 22, right? Probably, yeah. I estimate this place here. Can we see closer? We can only see the front of their drive. That's a small fire department. Like, just housing for the 2 trucks they have. Wow. And a shed in the back. Wow. I got to get a closer look at that. But across the street, box number, very well manicured lawn. Oh, that's gorgeous. And boy, do they produce a lot of refuse. 4 cans here. 4 cans of refuse. Holy moly. On a weekly basis. Green Tea says, rural fire department. Yeah, let's get a closer look at that shed behind there. What's that? Oh, it's some kind of semi-underground structure on the left. Let's take a look at that first. Yeah, some half-buried storage area back there. And a shed, which is that part of the fire department? No, I don't think so. I think that's someone else's property. Maybe not, though. It's hard to tell because all this grass is very nicely mown to the same level. Well, that's kind of, that's interesting that all this grass up to the tree line is mown to the same level, but actually there's a division, slight division in the level of the grass here, it looks like. I think this is this people's shed. Because there's a division here in the mowing, evidently. So there's their propane tank, evidently. What's it say there? Hard to read. Maybe if I took one more step left. Can't read it. Elder says somebody gets paid to go out and mow that. Yeah, Elder, but they don't get mowed to pay. Usually they don't get mowed to pay 2 adjacent properties, right? And I could see, right? Maybe you can see. Well, I don't know. There's this road. This is obviously some kind of providing for a road. Maybe they're associated. Maybe you're right. Green tea is stepping away and is now lost. What are we looking for? Oh, nice. Nice play, Gotcha Man. Gotcha Man says, it says Townley Fire Department Station number 2. Wow, good eyesight there, Gotcha Man. All right. Green Tea, we're just trying to find the Alabama professional Bigfoot hunter business address on Google Earth. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to, but that's looks like where it is. Right there. Too bad we couldn't do an overlay. That would take too long. Gotcha Man says, if you have a mouse wheel, you can zoom up on images. I do have a wheel. Okay, let's try that. Try now. Townley Fire Department Station number 2. Thank you, Gotcha Man. Amazing. Now I got to see the sign. No parking, no parking. Townley Fire Department Station 2. A little glitch there in the matrix. Part of this fire station is in another dimension. Okay, it's time for the next and final web page on the topic. Is it the final one? Yes, final web page on the topic. Then we get to viewer suggestions. Real Bigfoot found in Georgia. This dated 2008. Written by C. Martin Croker. Or blogged by C. Martin Croker of Atlanta, Georgia. He's an animator, a voiceover actor, a comics artist, an archivist, director, collector, writer, historian, painter, and pack rat. Recluse, hermit, crank, and weirdo. View my complete profile, it says here. Real Bigfoot found in Georgia, northern Georgia. Practically the only place I've ever been camping. Wouldn't you know? It's all over the news today from KNTV, San Francisco NBC affiliate. Updated 4:31 a.m., August 15, 2008, Palo Alto, California. 3 Bigfoot seekers, including a Redwood City man who released a documentary titled Bigfoot Lives, claim they have the body of one, claim they may have the body of one, and released a photo at right. I guess that's at the directly from the news article, but do they have the photo here? That's a Patterson frame there. Ooh, I don't know if I want to see that Bigfoot. Okay. That's gonna require another check mark on for the censorship of YouTube. Matthew Whitten and Rick Dyer before that. And they have what they claim is DNA evidence at a news conference in Palo Alto on Friday. Matthew Whitten and Rick Dyer, Georgia residents who lead Bigfoot tracking expeditions, said they found the body of what appears to be Bigfoot in the woods of northern Georgia. They were to join local Bigfoot researcher Tom Biscardi at the news conference, according to Robert Barrows, who was publicizing that event. Barrows' name is known in San Mateo County, where he's made multiple bids as a Democratic primary candidate for District 12 and its congressional seat, formerly occupied by Tom Lantos and now by Jack Spire. Barrows said, "I think you'll find that this is the real deal of the alleged discovery." Whitten, a police officer in Clayton County, and Dyer, a former correctional officer, are not saying exactly where the body was found or where it is now, according to Barrows. Biscardi, a veteran Bigfoot tracker who said he went to Georgia to view the find over the weekend, said DNA tests are being conducted, and a team of scientists will study the body, but declined to name any scientists involved. Officials from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources Wildlife Resources Division said the largest wildlife of which they are aware in the state are white-tailed deer and black bears. Additionally, from NBC 11, two men say they will use a press conference in Palo Alto Friday to prove to the world they have found the body of Bigfoot. Matt Whitten and Rick Dyer claim DNA results and plan to present photographs today at noon, proving that an unalive body they found in the woods of Georgia is the body of the creature. The remote regions of the Northwest are where people usually have claimed to see the man-ape. Efforts to reach Whitten and Dyer earlier today on what they call their Bigfoot tip line were unsuccessful. So it's not clear how Bigfoot could have ended up in the mountains of Georgia. The men claim to have the corpse of the beast in a freezer in Georgia. Get that deer out of there. But skeptics are saying today's press conference is just another, well, we don't do debunking here. And from DB Techno, Washington, the world is currently waiting for the big press conference, where two hunters have stated they will reveal photos as well as DNA evidence to prove they have found the unalived body of a Bigfoot. Once they found Bigfoot, they placed him in a freezer to keep him fresh. Since then, Bigfoot expert Tom Biscardi has been brought in, who later confirmed it is the real thing. Bigfoot, according to the hunters, is 7 foot 7 inches tall, has reddish hair, big teeth, eyes, etc. We will have to wait for the press conference to find out more. Green tea says, I hope he doesn't get freezer burn. Elder asks, how do you fit that in a normal freezer without mangling it? Two Feathers, thank you for the super chat, ma'am. Two Feathers says, Bill has big feet. Prove me wrong. You're right, I do have big feet, actually. I take a size 13 and 1/2. That's US size. I take a 13 and a half, people. I have huge feet. Okay, next topic, people. But before that, just don't forget. Coming up this Wednesday, only on Twitch, where Gotcha Man hosts El Cid, and I have some more patter for that, I believe. This is the widescreen version, presented in the original innovative and radical Technorama 70 format. The sweeping score was the last composed by Miklos Rosa, and it should have earned him another Oscar. And Charlton Heston stars as El Cid, the Knight Paladin who united Muslims and Christians to defend their country against foreign invaders. It's a good flick. We'll see you there. Thank you so much, Two Feathers. Green Tea says that's the biggest chest freezer Sears and Roebuck sells. Taco says you need to get one of the Tucker Box Australian freezers. Heaps of room. Oh, I got to see this. The Tucker Box, huh? I got to copy it first. There we go. Let's see it. Here. Oh, they're vertical. Maybe both ways. Maybe they're both kinds. Are these Tucker boxes? We got to see the real thing. Let's search for Tucker box on the web. Tucker box. Oh, it's 2 words. Okay. Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, there's a... ooh, only 1K Australian. Add to cart. Well, let's take a look. And that's it. That's Tucker box. That's Tucker box. This is their this is their close-up of the Tucker box freezer. It's the Hisense 500L. I imagine 500L meaning 500 liter. Would have been nice to see some something for scale. I don't mean to laugh at Tucker box, Taco. Please do not take offense. Taco says, I bought one for my daughter. It fits some pretty good amounts. Yeah, I bet. Why is it? And that's another version of that. Let's revise the, where's the thing? Yeah, we got to go back to Tucker box freezer. It's a common search. There's a huge one. Come on, we want Tucker box. I like that name. There's a nice Tucker box right there. Open image, a new tab. There you go. You might need the 500L though. This looks like a different L. Can we see what L it is? This is a Tucker box? That's what the description said. It says Mally's on it. And it says Tucker box too. I guess. There's the closest we can get to the label. Yeah, that says Tucker box, I guess. Mally's Tucker box. Terry Ulmer says, Bill's big feet just means he has a lot of soul, S-O-L-E. Thank you, Sean. Two Feathers says, that's a hell of a coffin. A freezer is a hell of a coffin, no doubt. I can't see a rating as for an L rating here. Can we get a sharper version of same? Here's it might be still low res, but looks like a better res. That's seen some better days. Pilchard's block, salted pilchards, and prawns. I guess what they used to sell out of that, or maybe still do. I never heard of pilchard or salted pilchard, but I've heard of prawns. Evidently, the prawns are $7.50 Australian. Doesn't say for what. Come on, show one with a real high res, will you? I want a close-up look at this thing. Mally's. It's either Mally's or Tucker. Mally's makes the Tucker box, I guess. Ooh, look at that nice one. Oh, that's a small one. That's like a party freezer. I'm not seeing anything that Westinghouse, 300 liter. Tucker box freezer. Very small. Probably taken from that website we just visited. This one, almost as small. Rabbit hole detected, said Eldegard. I thought you said rabbit hole detective. Gotchaman says, I could stretch this out, but it would still be cramped for a Bigfoot. Oh, Gotchaman says, I could stretch out in it, but this would still be cramped for a Bigfoot. Yeah, especially 7'7", which is what they reported. Maybe welcome Big Test, my friend. Maybe they to fit the Bigfoot in, they used the mob method. Okay, we gotta move on to the next topic, people. Shane Riley reminds us that prawns are shrimp. Thank you, Shane. Squirrel Sniper, welcome. Okay, next topic is going to be from, I believe Taco was first. And no, it's not Tucker Box Australian freezers. It's, where'd I put it? That here. Oh, here it is. Where is the missing Sri Lankan handball team of 2004? And were they a fake team of 23 people? Good question. Let's find out. Gotta get my stuff straightened out here. Oh, not a good idea to do to headphones that were donated to the show. It is 8 minutes after the hour. Amusing Planet. Well, the website title is a bit wanting, but here's a story at that place when you consider the topic. Has an article entitled The Case of the Missing Sri Lankan Handball Team by Kaushik Padawari. And this looks like a good writer right here. He starts off with a short sentence and follows it with an even shorter one. That's a sign, to me, that's a sign of a well-accomplished writer. If you can say something in 4 words, don't say it in 12. Rhino Rex says, Americans refusing to use the metric system will use anything to measure stuff. So tell me, how many big feet long is this freezer? How many big feet long is this freezer? Okay. And KP begins. The Sri Lankan Sports Authority has a problem. Their athletes keep disappearing. They go to foreign countries and take part in sporting events, then promptly run away. Usually, they go to Italy, where they end up spinning pizzas or working in department stores. In fact, athletics absconding during international tournaments is such a huge problem for the country that they have coined a term for it: decamping. During a 1993 sporting event in Canada, only one of the Sri Lankan team's 11 members came home. 1 out of 11. The rest, including a number of members of the wrestling team, of the Wrestling Federation of Sri Lanka, just disappeared. Hopefully it was decamping and not something else. In 2007, a triple jump coach taking part in an international training event sponsored by the International Olympic Council disappeared in Italy. During the 2014 Asian Games in South Korea, a hockey player and a beach volleyball player went missing. But one of the most infamous cases of decamping was reported in 2004, when the entire handball team of Sri Lanka disappeared in Germany. Wow. People disappear in Germany, man. Lars Mittank disappeared in Germany. Non-Germany. No, Mars Mittank was a German national who disappeared in somewhere else. In 2003, oh wait, these are actors. These are actors posing as the Sri Lankan handball team as depicted in a movie representing the event. At first, the German handball team would come to Sri Lanka for a friendly match. In Minawangoda, a town on the western side of the island. Then the Sri Lankan team would fly to Germany for a 10-match tournament. Boy, that's a lot of matches of soccer. That's a lot of handball matches. 10 matches. They did just, they mean 10 match. They probably mean man-on-man type stuff. So maybe not that many. Wanayaka had only a few weeks to get their Sri Lankan players ready for their friendly game with the Germans. Wait, I would skip down. Sorry. In 2003, the Asian German Sports Exchange Program, or AGSEP, an organization conducting sports events and international exchanges between Sri Lankan and European sports teams, received a call from a director in the Sri Lankan Sports Ministry about setting up a handball exhibition with the German national team. Handball is rarely played in Sri Lanka, and so the Sri Lankan Sports Ministry hired a handball coach named Athula Wijanayaka to train the men and build a team. At first, the German handball team would come to Sri Lanka for a friendly match in Minawangoda, a town on the western side of the island. Then the Sri Lankan team would fly to Germany for a 10-match tournament. Wijanayaka had only a few weeks to get the Sri Lankan players ready for their friendly game with the Germans. Practices were held a few times a week, where the players learned the basics. None of them had any handball experience, but that is not necessary to be proficient at the game. They only need to appear like they knew what they were doing. I guess that's one way to put it. I would have said, you just have to follow the rules. 28-year-old Chandana first heard about the scheme in 2002 from his older brother, who was already living in Italy. His brother promised to pay for the expenses to bring Chandana to Italy. Once Chandana found employment, he was to pay his brother back. For now, all he needed to do was to learn how to play handball. They skipped a part here where they said, Chandana was one of these volunteers for the team. But from context, I assume he is. Chandana had never played handball before, but he did play volleyball in high school. So it didn't take long for him to learn the basics. 2 30-minute halves. Boy, that is a lot of matches. A player can run 3 steps without dribbling the ball and to score goals. That was all Chandana could remember. Chandana could remember. At the exhibition match, the German handball team thrashed the hosts 36-2. Despite the pathetic performance, writes the author, Dietmar Döring, the founder of AGSEP, and the German officials invited the Sri Lankan team to Germany for a handball tournament there. A few weeks later, the 23-member Sri Lankan team arrived in Wittislingen, a town in southern Germany, the afternoon before the tournament was set to begin. Wittislingen. The team went sightseeing. Then they this was before the matches. I'm just guessing. The team went sightseeing. Then they met the mayor of the town, took photos, and had dinner with their German counterparts. 23-year-old Rupa Singh said, "We sang and danced and had a great time." How do they know if he's gone? Oh no, it wasn't before the matches. On the first game, the team was again hammered. Before the game. Hammered is a word we use here in the States to mean drunk. This time, the Sri Lankans didn't score a single point. Here's pictures. First, the German handball team playing a friendly match. And second, no caption. Oh yes, the German handball team playing a friendly match. Same caption. This must be the Germans. In the gelbe, in the yellow. Okay. That night, the Germans hosted the Sri Lankans for another dinner. And once again, they sang together. They celebrated through the evening. "We had a very great time in this place," said Rupa Singh. "Felt a bit sorry as we all planned to go the next day, very early in the morning. At 5 a.m. in the morning, just before dawn, the team slipped out of their hotel rooms, taking with them only a few clothes and other necessities." Well, how much did they bring with them? They left behind a note, thanking the Germans for their hospitality. It said, "We're going to France." In reality, they were all going to Italy. It said, oh wait, this is a quote from Chandana, the young man who may or may not be a young man and may or not be a volunteer for the handball team of Sri Lanka. "We knew from our relatives and friends once we reached Italy there was no way of sending us back. Italian people are very friendly, and they like us to work in their restaurants. Sri Lankans in Italy have no problems with the police. We are not involved in drugs or any other criminal activities." Sounds like a good deal. Oh, they wrote it in English. Ah, common language. Taco says, "Sounds rather dodgy to me. They absconded to Italy." For everyone. Dated, looks like 2004, September 15th. We want to say thank you. You are very friendly. We have decided to leave Germany and travel to, I guess it says France. We want to find a better life there. This is our decision, and we also take full responsibility and risk for our decision. You all were very friendly and nice. Thanks. Please forgive us for our decision. We don't have any other way right now. We can't go back to Sri Lanka, so we will go now. Please don't worry about us. We will be fine. We are leaving Germany. You have done a lot for us. Thank you again. With love, signed by the manager. The team manager, I assume, rather than their coach. And there's his signature. There's a PS here. Something about with our manager come today morning. We with our manager idol is now come today morning. So signed by the manager. You thought that at least they'd leave a note for the coach too. Dear coach. Did the coach go with him? They must have, right? Maybe not. Evidently, times are dire in Sri Lanka. Gotchaman says, my friend knew a guy. He worked in an Italian restaurant in Japan. They're very different atmosphere. Taco says, has anyone ever worked in an Italian restaurant? You do not want to work in one unless you have a suit of armor. The chef throws pots, pans, and crockery at you when you make a mistake. The media immediately began questioning, is During the mastermind behind the disappearing act? The news even suggested that the handball team had been infiltrated by Tamil terrorists, smuggled into Germany. When media outlets called the Sri Lankan Sports Ministry, the ministry responded by saying that that handball was rarely played in Sri Lanka, and the formation of a national team was a mystery. I thought they endorsed and encouraged it. We don't even have a single club, said Emissary Fernando, the president of the Sri Lankan Olympic Association. During was extremely let down by the incident. This will be the last time we will be doing this. I'm not planning to invite any more teams from Sri Lanka, he said. He could not, even if he wanted to, for shortly after the incident, the German embassy blacklisted AGSEP from participating in sporting events in the country ever again. No more teams got visas thereafter, he said. That's the sad side of the whole thing. Within a decade, more than half of the 23 Sri Lankan handball players had returned home. I came back after 6 months, says Chandana. My child was sick. I felt homesick. I couldn't find a job, though it was promised. I wonder who promised him a job. I wrote a letter to Mr. During and asked for forgiveness. Well, God bless you, Chandana. Rupa Singh worked in a pizzeria as a pizza baker for 4 years before returning to Sri Lanka. In those 4 years, Rupa Singh earned good money and regularly sent back part of his paycheck to Sri Lanka. Taco says it just sounds like I swallowed the Oktoberfest. Danke sehr. Although During was bitter in the beginning, over the years he began to understand why the players did what they did. It was out of necessity. Each of the men on the team supported an average of 5 to 10 family members back in Sri Lanka. And every one of those players sent money back to their families every month. Zerithian having a good time. Next up, a suggestion from Green Tea. Let's see what it is. Mermaids and mermen, starting with Zimbabwe. Yes. So we'll say mermaids and mermen in Zimbabwe. The time is 27 minutes after the hour. Eldergrown says 26 minutes after the hour. And then, well, now it's 27 minutes after the hour. The World from PRX. Chasing, how about at Mail and Garden? Not sure what ZA is, probably Zimbabwe. I'm sorry. The Mail and Guardian. Here's the story at mg.co.za. Chasing Mermaids in Zimbabwe by Percy Zamaya. Let's say Zamaya. Percy Zamaya. It says here long read for some reason. Is it long? It's not that long. It's kind of long. Maybe not. Maybe not that source. How about Mermaids in Zimbabwe? And this is from Green Tea. Building a dam. Let's try the Daily Mail. And here at thedailymail.co.uk is an article by Dan Newling for Mail Online. Entitled Reason for Zimbabwe Reservoir Delays. Mermaids have been hounding workers away. And Mr. Newling begins. Essential work planned on reservoirs in Zimbabwe has stopped because mermaids have been hounding workers away, according to the country's water resources minister. Samuel Sepepa Nkomo told a Zimbabwean parliamentary committee that terrified workers are refusing to return to the sites near the towns of Gakwi and Mutura. Minister Nkomo said the only way to solve the problem was to brew traditional beer and carry out any rites to appease the spirits. And here, as the caption, it reads, African artist's impression of mermaids. The Zimbabwean government has blamed delays to 2 essential infrastructure projects on the presence of mermaids. And the country's water resources minister claimed the mermaids have been hounding workers away from 2 planned new reservoirs. Minister Nkomo was reported as saying in Zimbabwe's state-approved Herald newspaper, all the officers I have sent vowed not to go back there. End quote. These senior politicians said that mermaids were also present in other reservoirs. He added, quote, we even hired... There's a way to say it. I can't remember how to say it. YTs. We even hired YT people, thinking that our boys did not want to work. But they also returned saying they did not want to work there again. Too good for the YT people. 2 long overdue reservoirs are considered essential if Zimbabwe is to provide adequate water to its population and to boost its agricultural production. Having once been the breadbasket of southern Africa, the country's farms have been laid low by lack of faith in government policy. From 2000, President Robert Mugabe expropriated some 40,000 YT-owned farms and gave them to politically connected blacks. Partly as a result, agricultural production is this year forecast to be at its second lowest since Zimbabwe achieved independence from Britain 45 years ago. The belief in mermaids and other mythical creatures is widespread in the country, where many people combine a Christian faith with traditional beliefs. Local government, rural and urban development minister Ignatius Kambo said the government wants to give the population the water it needs, but cannot do so until the rituals are performed and necessary repairs carried out. 3/4 of Zimbabwe's population live on less than $1 a day. Wow. 75%. Next up. We have a suggestion from last week from Michael Hood. And that suggestion was at 34 minutes past the hour. We'll find out now. Paranormal techniques, quantum parapsychology. I don't know if that's some kind of nonsense from psychic phenomena and quantum mechanics. I think that's what he meant. Quantum Parapsychology, How Science is Proving. At Amazon.com, that's a book. How Science is Proving the Paranormal, another book. CIA.gov. Well, they say that those computations are supposed to take place in an alternate universe, right? Literally. Scientifically. How much more paranormal can you get than that? PsychNet. Parapsychology. Let's try PsychNet. Abstract. Parapsychology has been hampered by an assumption that it is not possible to explain occurrences such as ESP in terms of scientific principles. This chapter takes the contrary position, namely that psi research is quite consistent with the principles of both neurobiology and quantum physics. Not exactly what we're going to look up. I think he was just trolling us. Let's go to the next one at 37 minutes after the hour, which is from Verpine. Don't know if I've seen Verpiner this evening, and I don't believe so. Hopefully he'll catch the show later. And he'll be able to see that we are looking into his question about Lake Crescent and the Lady of the Lake. Thank you, Verpine. I am thirsty. I have not had a drink this entire time. I just found this seltzer in the car. It was frozen solid. When it thawed out, it still had carbonation. Lots of it. Now, not so much. Cryo seltzer, says Elder Grown. And Elder agrees that quantum physics is fascinating. Zerithian reminds us of quantum entanglement. Excuse me. Lake Crescent and the Lady of the Lake. The Lady of Crescent Lake. Ooh, this looks good. This is at myolympicpark.com. Oh, we have to get to that definitely before we end the show. We have to get to that weird one. I think it was by Rhino Rex. They had the dark suggestion there. We got to get Rhino Rex's dark suggestion before the end of the show. Got it. Got it. Okay, whatever. The Lady of Crescent Lake. This is at myolympicpark.com. Do we have an author's name here somewhere? By Staff, it says. Okay, Staff. Staff begins. The Lady of the Lake is a story about an oddly preserved, unalive body found floating in Crescent Lake. The lake is no stranger to bloody stories. According to legend, The Klallam and Kilete tribes fought a bloody battle beneath Mount Storm King. Or it could be Kalam and Colette. But probably not. The mountain became angry, broke off a chunk of rock from its peak, and threw the rock into the valley over the battlefield. This chunk killed the warriors and dammed the river, creating Crescent Lake. Generations of Native Americans, some might say First Peoples, would not go near the lake because of this legend. It was said that Crescent Lake never gave up its dead until the Lady of the Lake surfaced in 1940. The story of the lady starts at the tavern on the edge of Crescent Lake in the northwest part of Olympic National Park. And that's a hot link. Are we going to get to see the tavern on the edge of Crescent Lake? We are. Isn't that a beauty? Taken from the dock. Oh, that's quite nice. Charming Lake Crescent Lodge, built in 1915. It was 1936, and Hallie worked at the tavern as a barmaid. At the age of 35, she had just ended her second marriage. But Hallie gave it another try and married Montgomery Monty J. Illingworth in June the same year. He drove a beer truck, and she met him at the tavern. This being Hallie Latham Illingworth. But Hallie had a habit of choosing the wrong man. Monty did not bother hiding his beatings. Hallie would come to work with bruises and black eyes, and she confided with a co-worker that Monty had broken one of her teeth. After just 5 months of marriage, the police were called to break up a fight between the couple in the wee hours outside of the tavern. Hallie disappeared on the morning of December 22nd, 1937. Disappeared, huh? Good old Monty told everyone that Hallie had run off with a sailor from Alaska, but the story seemed fishy. Writes the author. Staff. Despite suspicion, Monty was granted a divorce in 1938. He moved to California with the roommate of Hallie's sister. Elderground says, "Watery tarts tossing swords at you is no basis for a system of government." In 1940, a body surfaced on Lake Crescent. The body was wrapped in blankets and tied with rope. But that's not the spooky part. The skin of the body had turned into a rubbery substance that was perfectly preserved. It wasn't bloated like most bodies held in water, and there was no decay. She was perfectly preserved, other than missing facial features, missing fingers, and missing toes. It also showed evidence of being beaten and strangled. Forensics. The doctors call it an ivory soap corpse because of the skin's condition. How can Rhino Rex's suggestion be any darker than this? But we must do it, even if we have to go long. We will get to that. We will finish with Rhino Rex. The ivory soap is a process known as saponification, which converts fatty acids into soap. Lake Crescent's depth is not known with certainty, but likely has parts that are deeper than 1,000 feet. No wonder the Indians stayed away. When the body had been submerged in the deep waters of the Indians, here I am, First Peoples, stayed away. When the body had been submerged in the deep waters of the lake, the cold prevented decomposition, and the salts and calcium in the water slowly converted the tissue into a material like soap, called adipocere. Just like soap, a body converted in this manner floats, although this one had apparently been weighted down. The ropes connected to the weights eventually decayed, allowing the body to float to the surface. What if that guy's still around? Money. Taco confirms it's called saponification. Even though there could be no facial recognition or fingerprints, police made a positive ID of the body as Hallie Illingworth because of the physical match, the hair color, and the dental records. The police also had a clue as to the killer: the rope. This rope, it seems, was peculiar to Sears and Roebuck. Through receipts, it was tracked to the tavern owner, who had bought it to tie up boats. The tavern owner remembered that a beer salesman borrowed 100 feet of rope to pull his truck out of the mud. He had never returned the rope, and that beer salesman was Monty. Monty Illingworth was extradited from California and stood trial for Hallie's murder. He claimed the body wasn't Hallie, and that he had seen her alive. But Hallie's dentist testified to her ID. Monty was found guilty and served 9 years in prison. Only 9 years? You kill someone, huh? Damn. Before being paroled. Next up, Rhinoceros Rex. I'm sorry, Rhino Rex. I have it here. Yeah, this is the real Rhino Rex name right here. Which is about at 48 minutes past the hour. The Ibidan Forest of Horrors. Ooh. Ooh, this is pretty heavy stuff. We will do it, however. Also known as the House of Horror, located in Nigeria, evidently. The Disturbing Tale, Wikipedia article, a podcast, archives of the Ibidan Forest of Horror, latest news and updates at dreadcentral.com. Let's check that out. Ibidan Forest of Horror at dreadcentral.com. Today only unlock your exclusive reading reward. Do we have an author? Do we even have a story? Is it just a picture? Do not understand what's going on, but we'll click on the picture. Here we go. By Chad Collins, The Terrifying Story of the Ibidan Forest of Horror. And Mr. Collins begins. Some true crime cases reappear in the public consciousness with the regularity of the flu. The Ibidan Forest of Horror is presently captivating and horrifying internet users across the globe, largely because it remains one of the most inexplicable and frightening discoveries of this century. Be warned, some of the forthcoming content is incredibly disturbing. Uh-oh. I trust you, Rhino Rex. One line at a time here. Let's not do any pictures just yet. On March 22nd, 2014, a group of taxi drivers stumbled upon a horrifying sight in the Soka Forest in Ibidan, Oyo State, Nigeria. The drivers had been operating an impromptu search party after another driver in the area went missing. There they found the Ibidan House of Horror, as it was soon colloquially called. Inside were some of the century's most gruesome and frightening discoveries. And we are going to go very slowly here. Very slowly. I don't want to see that part. I don't want to know what that is. When authorities arrived, 23 living survivors were rescued from the building. In and around the area, authorities also discovered severed body parts, decomposing bodies, and artifacts belonging to several missing persons. The local assumption was that the site was a dumping ground for a group of ritualists, affiliated with affluent Nigerians, who used human flesh for rituals. The discovery prompted riots as hundreds of local residents swarmed the building, desperate to get inside and rescue who they could. According to the BBC News, the riots led to several injuries. Residents suspected black magic rituals on account of the skeletons and unalive bodies found inside. Also, according to the BBC, dozens of malnourished persons were found wandering around the perimeter of the building, with at least 15 more found shackled inside. The building, which has since been demolished and developed into the Oyo State Comprehensive Model School, I have no second phrase for that sentence. Because I should have said the building has since been demolished, with no clear answers as to what exactly happened in the building. Locals have been left to speculate about the worst possibilities. No clear answers. Resultantly, the Ibidan... we're going to check out Wikipedia on this. Resultantly, the Ibidan Forest of Horror endures as one of the most frightening stories of the century, with links to the occult and/or government corruption and the sheer gruesomeness of the site. It's no wonder why. What I say we're going to look into? Oh yeah, the Wikipedia. Underground says, okay, I take it back. Third world countries can be all bad. The Ibidan Forest of Horror, also known as the Ibidan House of Horror, or Soka, was a dilapidated building believed to have been used for human trafficking and/or ritual sacrifice, located in the Soka Forest in Ibidan, Oyo State, Nigeria. The building was discovered 10 years ago in March by a group of motorcycle taxi drivers 23 survivors were rescued. Oh, this is taken right from the other article, it looks like. The activities that occurred in the forest are believed to have been coordinated by unknown kidnappers and ritualists in the state, who are often supported by affluent Nigerians and politicians for these human rituals. This is insane. It's like a horror Hammer film come to life. Less than 2 weeks after the Soka site was found, a similar site was found in Adigbe in Ogun State. The buildings on the site have since been demolished and it has been redeveloped into a secondary school. I thought I said retractions. Reactions. The discovery of the Forest of Horror generated controversy through Nigeria. There was a concern on the link between the management, kidnappers/ritualists, of the horror forest, and some top government officials, and notable politicians in the state. But there seems to have been no clear evidence to establish that fact. There was a claim by the youth in the area that the Oyo State Police refused to investigate the forest, despite several kidnapping cases reported there. Some of the survivors rescued from the den claimed that the ritualists kidnapped victims by claiming to be officials of the Urban Renewal Initiative, coordinated by the government. Yeah, tempt someone with someplace to live and then kidnap them. Corruption. That is corruption indeed. Thank you, Rhino Rex. People, do not forget, coming up this Wednesday, the magnificent epic El Cid, guest hosted by Gotcha Man. I will be able to attend this coming Wednesday. I wouldn't miss it. Until then, may God bless and protect you all.